Here we are again, this time around, starting off on a Saturday morning, going live to dive into the creature of the Black Lagoon. Let's first jump to comments. Michaela, aka Svengoolie, is saying good morning to everybody. So, good morning, Michaela, and good morning and welcome, everybody. So, let me start with last night. I had a little bit of a microphone issue, a little bit of audio tech difficulties, and my greatest fear, well, not literally my greatest fear, but my concern, I had set up for some other items to be shown, and somehow they didn't make it into the actual show. So here we go, in light of the Svengoolie show showing the original 1954 Creature of the Black Lagoon movie tonight. Here we go to recognize the history of Svengoolie and the creature and their history together, and some Sven collectibles. Glad to have Jim Campbell along for a Saturday morning. Thank you much for joining us from Campbell's Corner. Okay, so let me start out with stuff that was missed from yesterday in the completed show that I did in the comment section. Custom God commenter Custom God said the black and white creature, referring to the Migos, is the coolest. He had to get that one, but didn't get the other two. The other two being like the darker creature and the lighter green creature, or the original Migo release. Anyway, so I wanted to acknowledge that comment from Custom God, and also the comments from Jim Campbell, from Michaela, from Barbie Gal, aka Nicole, from Junkyard, from Fanboy Cantina. I appreciate everybody coming around for the rough draft or the attempted warm up, the dress rehearsal, however we want to call it. The one that didn't go as smoothly as I had wanted it to. Also noteworthy was in the comment section, Junkyard had mentioned the 3D glasses, and again, the creature coming from the 1950s when the 3D technology was being utilized as a, I don't want to say gimmick, but as a innovation to bring people into the theater. So since Junkyard had pointed out to me comedically last night that I had omitted the 3D glasses, here they are. I'm gonna put them on and take them off because, yeah, we're not trying to look at something that has a 3D properties. My brain gets all wobbly with the red lens and the green lens. Okay, so here we go. Let me come into the Svengoolie website and let's navigate a little bit here. Now, like, what show was this where they took their stock image or this promotional piece image to go with the lagoon is black and your prospects are bleak when you meet the creature from the Black Lagoon tonight? So as is the case every week, Rich Coe's Svengoolie does his write-up of the movie in a long form format. You can see right there in the middle, also in lieu of the creature coming up tonight. For people who are looking for creature items, you can go to the Shop Now feature on the MeTV store. Also, if I can jump ahead, they're still also running their St. Patrick's special, highlighting anything that which is green. Spoilers on this, if you're looking for the 14-inch Migo creature, which is featured right there in the center of the photo, they are sold out of that one, so you need a different venue in which to pick up the 14-inch Migo creature. Let me say also exciting stuff going on in the Svenverse, given that we're in March Madness. So there's some MeTV madness where instead of a basketball bracket, it is a voting bracket between famous historical movie quotes or catchphrases. So as it says right there, join the madness. So between no personal checks and Berwyn, and of course, catchphrases have been a thing for sitcoms for many a year, many a show. For those who are interested, it's a fun way to pass some March Madness parallel play, parallel comparison, to hang out in the Svenverse, in the MeTV verse, and of course, there's all the regular items. And then there's the people who comment through Sven directly. That's a really great community also, and we're seeing right there already at 200 plus comments, and it's only it's only mid-morning still. So, okay, there we go. So that covers the actual Sven business. As far as the Sven webpage, let me come back around and also speak on the Sven history, right? It was the summer of 1982, as we'll continue to revisit around here, where Svengoolie and other horror hosts were putting out a broadcast where people would go to their 7-Eleven or their local spot and get some 3D glasses. But then there was a famous, infamous instance that the 3D effects didn't really translate very well, even locally to the Chicagoland area. There was a class action lawsuit that people felt their $1.17 at the time that they spent in that era uh, on the 3D glass purchase was worthy of a class action lawsuit. So again, this is just a whole legendary bit. So in that way, as I mentioned last night, as I'm saying again, it's no other movie or no other character is quite so attached to Svengoolie as is the creature, because from no other showing was there generated so much controversy and anticipation. Uh, if you've been around this channel before, you can tell I revisit the summer of 1982 in that way, quite a big deal. So yeah, it definitely is one of my outstanding memories of my younger years. Okay, so Sven is not the only one who got to do some writing, as is the case every week. Chris Hamby on his Silver Screens blog comes around. If I can flip the tab, or yeah, sometimes the options are one way, sometimes the options are another way. But let me get the Chris Hamby Silver Screens up here. And again, I'm not going to read Chris's entire lengthy. I'm just trying to encourage people, go check out silverscreens.com for yourselves, because Chris always packs in a wealth of information. Uh, Again, here's a little video clip. Here's some pictorial business going on. It's a film student level, student of the game. Noted in this photo right here is Millicent Patrick, who was the designer of the creature costume. Later on, I'll come to the book by Mallory O'Meara, where she did a autobiography or a trace. No, I'm sorry, a biography, not an autobiography, tracing the history of Millicent Patrick creating the creature. And then on the physical manifestation of her designs, Jack Caven and Chris Mueller were the ones to uh, apply that which she conceptualized into the physical world of the creature's suit right there. So again, I'm not giving away the entire Hamby blow. As you can see, there's a lot of great historical photos and a lot of great information to be seen from the Chris Hamby Silver Screens. Let me see if I can get myself over here now. All right, so other frequent things that we'll reference around here is the Reddit community, and a theme that I touched on a little bit previously, but again, something that I want to highlight more is it's fun to hang out in the Svengoolie subreddit group. So I had put earlier in the week together, and let me do this also. Here is current Sven art via Nanette. So in the Powerpuff Girls style, that again, I always appreciate Nanette's mashups and her both her innovation and her execution on what she does. And where did Michaela's photo? Boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm all thumbs, but that's all right. Michaela also put together a really neat uh, cartoony edition of the creature, and I'm scrolling to that right now so we can all see Michaela's latest creature creation. And now I'm going to take it just a little. Anyway, so while I'm looking for that, let me also say I had put together a poll on Reddit. I'll come back to Michaela's art in a second. So as the creature is depicted in different ways, in different times, in different media, one of the questions is, does he have fangs? Does he not have fangs? Does he have teeth? What is the deal with the teeth of the creature? So I put together a poll on Reddit, and it's kind of even numbers. The voting options were no teeth, no fangs. The other option was not a full set of teeth, but yes, he has fangs. Another option was both teeth and fangs, or the final option was depends on how he's drawn or how he's depicted and rendered. So it was pretty close in the voting there. I'm going to say, actually, as we'll see, as I'm polling people from the subreddit group, and then it comes to pass that as we go look at the collectible items, we'll definitely see that the creature gets depicted in a bunch of different ways. Also, to do my homework, getting ready for the movie, I was checking out again the Monsters That Made Us on their creature episode, as well as new podcast that I'm getting into is the Borgo Pass. Interesting that their broadcast on the creature or their show is February 2, 2023, and Monsters were February 23 of 2023. So that was a big time to be in the podcasting world, checking out Creature of the Black Lagoon. I just do want to find Michaela's image. I know that's the thing. She put it up a little bit earlier. So let me do a bit. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Michaela, if you're still here, what an adorable creature you put together right there. That is some good stuff. That is highly appreciated. Your contributions to the Sven community, to Sven art, and all of that stuff. So let me now see if I can successfully switch over spots here, and let me head over to the collectible section of the bubbles. Exactly, Michaela nailed it on her bubble work in that image. Okay, so let me come up. Let me do this, and let me do this, and let me mute myself over here and unmute myself over there. And here we mute. And here we go now at the collectible station, checking out the creature collectibles. I want to start as I did with the parallel episode that we had with the mummy, because Chai Star had popped in the comments at that time. So here's a Super 7 creature from the Black Lagoon pint glass. It says right there it's in their drive-through drinkware, Super 7. I believe they're all sold out of this. But so again, fangs or no fangs, this one definitely has upper teeth fangs. Creature's not looking very intimidating here, but as is consistent with the line of their barware, he's supposed to look a little cartoony and fun. Okay, so again, in this exhibit, definitely fangs are visible. I won't be charting eye color on every item, but the red-eyed creature is right there. So I put that one down, and now let's come to the T-shirts, which I had left out of attempting to record everything last night. Let me get my arm out of the way from the shadow. So this T-shirt produced by Junkyard, based off of, let me see if I can get it in a little bit better right here. There we go. So from Junkyard, based on the image created by Nicole Huff. So this is kind of a limited edition Junkyard creation collab with Nicole. So now let's see if I can successfully peel T-shirt 1 to bring us over to T-shirt 2. This specific Garbage Pail Kids creature rendition, courtesy of our pal friend of the studio, Chai Star G. So again, talk about, we can't tell if there's fangs in this one or not, but now he's gone from red eyes to purple eyes. Again, Garbage Pail Kids, just some fun stuff from previous years before we had the 2000s, when we were still in the older days. So there you have it. This one's a really fun one. And I appreciate Chai Star for hooking me up with this one. This is my most well-known Creature of the Black Lagoon t-shirt, courtesy of my wife. Just some quick anecdotes on this one here. I'm out at the video game store at the one location, and I happen to have the t-shirt on. And then some weeks later, I'm out at the same chain but a different location. I guess the manager had switched spots, and he says, "Hey, that's you. You're the guy that likes the old movies, and you wear the Creature of the Black Lagoon t-shirt." So I wasn't even consciously trying to uh, get recognition from the GameStop guy, but that was a pretty cool moment. That's just, oh, here he goes again wearing his Creature of the Black Lagoon t-shirt, going to one GameStop and going to the next GameStop. All right, next up, final of the t-shirts. This, again, courtesy of Chai Star G from his recent trip down the Universal Way. Again, this is pretty cool capturing, and I believe these are currently in stock and available from Universal. Let me try to get that wrinkle out, or that's I would need some more equipment to, ruffle around the shirt better. But here we go. Here we go. What a cool creature T-shirt. Much appreciation to Chai Star, and finally, now this one's a long sleever, but this was a custom job delivery from Junkyard Revenge of the Creature. Thrills and shocks and suspense based on the movie posters. So that is all good stuff. Now let's get into the art section of the creature, and then we'll get into the collectibles elements. So far, so good. Hanging out here on a Saturday afternoon. The 2024 calendar from Universal featured the creature in April. Other monsters got repeat months to be featured, but April was the only month on the calendar featuring good old creature. That now here is something that was unconscionable for me to have left out, but again, that's why we're reshooting right here. So this is, as the autograph is right down in there, Aunt Lucia. And noteworthy that Ant had since made it big to do the DC Bombshells series, but back in the day, his website might still be Spook Show Pinups. We work in the artist alleys at the conventions, and again, so here we have a yellow-eyed, not exactly clear if there's teeth or not teeth there, but again, the super cool depiction of the creature. Let me take a moment here to say, while we're underwater and there's bubbles and all that stuff going on, what makes me like the creature? Well, yeah, it's a great visual, but it's also, he's the only of the Universal monsters who's a water-based character. So he was cutting his own territory, literally in his own territory on that. And I just think both the camera work that they were able to do, the setup of the plot, so there's some overlap with monsters versus humans. There's some overlap with King Kong, that he was a non-human thing, just trying to find some companionship in the world. But just all the configuration of all the different elements, that's what makes me like and appreciate the creature of the Black Lagoon so much. Here we're at the Doug Horn, part 1 of 2 on Doug Horn. So the exact title of this piece is Gillman at the Cove. As we can see again in the signature corner there, this goes back to 2011. That is the saddest pufferfish I'll see in all my days. Doug does a great job mashing up Universal Monsters and tiki-themed stuff. Now, absolutely, pufferfish have a good reason to be sad faced, because they're just trying to go around in their world, and then people are turning them into tiki lamp decorations. But again, I would just, as we did when we did the Mummy show, to get a good close up on everything that Doug put together on the detailed level. So now we got a octopus like bartender, maybe mixing up, stirring the drink, putting the drink together. Creature again here, he looks a little disgruntled. Maybe he's sitting at the bar trying to, pardon the pun, drown his sorrows, trying to find a better way to go. I like how the glass float lights are kind of floating up instead of how they'd be if they were not underwater. So we got a little seahorse in there too. Again, very cool to have Doug Horn art. Let me slide that one over. And here we go, another Doug Horn piece. This one is Creature from the Isle of Pagan Delights. This one dates back to 2007, I think is what it says. Here's the implication of the creature. Again, trying to find some companionship in the world. The novelty bit at the table there, put in a coin and see what pops back out for yes or no questions. Again, little ironic calamari appetizer maybe. Doug's studio is Swampfire Lounge, or Swampfire Studio, so neat that he mixed that into the coaster. And I like just the layering of this. You're at the tiki bar, and you have some cool Doug Horn art on the wall at the tiki bar. So I like the meta, or the layering, the references here. Again, glass float lights, a little fishnet going on. And in this one, there's again, maybe that boat is similar to the Rita boat featured in the Creature movie, but absolutely there's some other kind of kraken or something wrapping around and causing some trouble there. Now we're on to the Nicole section. Again, who but for Nicole could come up with something this clever? It's a recurring theme, as we're saying, the creature seeking companionship. And the way that Nicole acknowledges that is with Barbie in the role of Kay and the creature there. Again, all the little elements that Nicole included, the coloring, the backdrop, creature's drinking a Corona. He's got some sand on his feet. What a fun time in the afternoon they're having over there. Okay, now here we are exiting the art section and moving on to the collectibles section. So I guess eeny, meeny, miny, mo, where does one start? Let's get the smaller items in and get it so then we can move them over. Oh, there's Frankenstein. There's Wolfman. Come on, he was just here a minute. Okay, somewhere on this table is the Crocs charm for the Creature of the Black Lagoon. Bad preparation on my part, but let's keep it moving. So here is from the Horror House shop, a glow-in-the-dark creature enamel pin. Here is a 2D printer studio copy of the old Remco creature from the Black Lagoon. Again, now here's definitely some fangs, red eyes again. Let me set him back up in the magnet section over here. Off camera, here's a patch that this might have been from the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. I honestly can't remember where I got this one from, but still a cool patch. I'm largely confident this is a retro Agogos copy right here. Definitely fangs, definitely red and green eyes. Little bloody creature must have just had a snack of some kind. And Monsterologist, again, this piece from Horror House, definitely teeth and orange eyes on this edition, on this variation of the creature. Okay, moving up, moving on. Let's come over here, right here. So the Geeky Tiki creature and the Mondo creature tiki mugs are right here. Let me get a little bit closer for them. Again, everything about all these different iterations of the creature. Really cool detail work on the gills, around the sides of his head, and really cool facial expression. Same for Mondo. Mondo's got more emphasizing the claw hand. Super cool to see. Let me take this minute to come to the question from Jim Campbell that I had not answered yesterday. Do I have a favorite piece? I'm hard pressed to pick a favorite piece of of the collection. So I really do like the character of the creature a lot, and it's all good stuff. Okay, so here is the Jada creature with a good amount of articulation. Again, let's start on the claw right there. It's a really awesome claw, elbow and shoulder articulation, somewhat limited. And then when we get to the Migo piece, we'll see the comparable chest and shoulder toppings that they have. Some decent. Look out! Here comes the claw. So again, able to rotate around from the lower torso and the upper torso articulation. He's doing the monster mash now, or the twist, doing a little Vincent Vega impression. Good stuff. Again, just to get a good amount of detail in there on his Jada design. Also coming with the Jada character is a net and the alternate. Okay, the alternate face. Oh, drop in the face. That's when we drop stuff around here, and that's how we do. Anyway, so there's a good side by side of how does the one face go, how does the other face go, right here. And here is, yeah, come on, Chai-Star, another pop. Yeah, I'm telling you, Chai-Star, I had left out last night the T-shirt you got me. I left out a bunch of loot from you, so I had to get that stuff included. I had to address my microphone trouble. Maybe I've got it down to just a recurrent echo in the background. I'm not sure about that, but I could not leave it be that I left stuff out of that. So again, the last, let's see. All right, the echo's not bad. All right, so as long as it's not a terrible setup. Anyway, here's the creature claw, and somewhere right around the table is also the fossilized hand of the creature. Echo we can live with, but muted mic or roughly stuff. Okay, anyway, now we're in the Funko side of things. We'll come back to the book. Here's the, well, let's start with the smaller of the Funkos. And again, absolutely for a cartoony style of things, still got a little bit of horror in him, still ready to pounce on somebody and drop the claw move on them. Awesome to have a single Funko, but now the baseline Funko, super cool to see this again. No articulation on the Funkos, but for the head. And then when the Deco line of Funko came around, had to absolutely expand the collection and do some compare contrast. The lighter yellow on the forehead, the darker greens. Uh, Super cool. Good stuff. One more Funko creature, and then let me get a fanboy. Not, I'm sorry, a Chai-Star comment to come up. The black and white guy. Again, zero articulation on the smaller size here. Absolutely cool to have around. Chai-Star says, had to take the boys. Car, hey, Snoopy, we got to be on our Snoopy business. Absolutely. Okay. Let me come over to one book and the other book. Again, in the Golden Book Funko, since this is all the Funko stuff, let me get to the right page here. Excellent that they have a kid-friendly, but with some grown people kind of jokes included into Creature from the Black Lagoon. Still waters run deep. That's where monsters like to hide. So this is a very low price item right here. So if you're trying to bring somebody up in their years and introduce them to the creature and the Universal Monsters or the Funko side of things, this is definitely a good thing to have in the inventory and have in stock. I think this is the other. Yeah, so I should have put these back to back, but here's the other enamel pin. Eye color not visible. Can't see what we got in the jaws or not in the jaws, but good to have more creature stuff. Okay, moving up. Let me come over here. Here we go. Courtesy of these two, both courtesy of Fanboy G, Fanboy Cantina. So here is based on the AHI, the Azraq Hamway International, late 70s, early 80s, playable, collectible, 3.75-inch figures. Here's the package art on the back. Again, this one definitely has fangs. I'm not sure who drew this one exactly, but let me come around to say as I will keep saying, Ed Repka as a package artist guy, his top flight. This I originally thought it was Basil Gogos, who's of course very renowned and well known for drawing the Universal Monsters. But man, Ed Repka, his stuff is absolutely worth checking out. And again, when they're in the box, you can't really highlight them and move them around the exact same way. But this is another super cool variant of the creature. Good to have him around. Okay, let's move to Imaginext Migos, and we're almost showing everything this time around without forgetting stuff. Imaginext. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, but does the creature really need a helmet? Because right, he's aquatic and amphibian anyway. That being said, so he doesn't necessarily need the helmet, but it's kind of a cool accessory. Again, no articulation up top here, but basic Imaginext shoulder, wrists, and the both legs move together. It's been a long time since we picked up this here Imaginext to Lego. Let me go from Imaginext to Lego. Again, both so many toy companies, whether they're more kid focused or more adult collector focused, are getting all these awesome details involved. And there we go. There's putting the faceplate back on good old Creature. Okay, coming up, let me take a quick, here's the other Imaginext guy who's definitely favorable in here for the diver. Okay, coming around. Now let's go to from Five Below, the Universal Monsters 12 posters, it's saying. And let me flip to the right pages again for Creature. Here is here's good old Creature. Again, no fangs, yellow eyes this time around. Let me see what Campbell has to say right here. To breathe on land. See, that's the thing. So again, they didn't really spell everything out exactly, but absolutely, Creature in 1954 was able to spend a decent amount of time on land. So I'm saying he's, a creature of two environments, under the sea and to be able to hang out on land also. And what's this other one from Campbell? Air helmet. Yeah, okay, you're on specifically on the, yeah, see, so I be great to have the Imaginext designers come around and or reach them in some kind of social media or email kind of a way and explain, but it's just it's they throw helmets on characters. They have a accessory, uh a number of accessories to include per figure, so there's that. Here we go again. Creature with the recurring theme of he's trying to have some companionship, maybe Kay's taking a little nap there under the moonlight, some kind of a thing. But this one again, five below. Okay. Oh boy, the hat continues to fall off, so I'm not sure where Sven's hat is right now. It's somewhere right around here. Where's the man's hat? But at least let me give him a rubber chicken, Archie McPhee rubber chickens, and they're dropping the chicken. That's how we do it. Closing us out for the day, let's take a look at the Migos. Again, Migos were a big deal for me as a young guy in the early 70s. There's been all kinds of repurposings or re-licensings for the MC Toys Company a while ago, trying to replicate Mego. And just to close us out, here's the original or standard Mego. Okay, look at that. Swiping that claw, kicking the flippers. Really excellent cloth design here. As I said a minute ago, then they had the plastic piece covering up over the cloth. Nobody's really going to peel this guy out of his suit based on the plastic covering. And then that guy is cool enough on his own, but when they had the variant, again, for all the Migos here, no teeth, no fangs, white eyes with some yellow in the eyes also. Man, can you tell I'm a fan of the Creature? And here we go, the silver screens, Chris Hamby tribute, or the black and white movie tribute. He's got more of a blue tint than I imagined, and I've grown to adjust to the blue tint. I'm just saying, if they made one that was less blue tinty and maybe more pure gray, let's see, give Sven the air helmet. Absolutely, that way Sven can go have an under the water adventure with the Creature. See, comic relief and many other roles cast around here to Chi-Star. I'm going to close this out again. I was hesitant because, like, is this guy really serious that he's getting? Oh, and then we still got the okay. We're coming to closing out, but we're not quite closed out yet. From the vacation time of the Wisconsin Dells, absolutely, I got the monster socks. Let's see what when is the next live stream? Well, we're still running this one, pal. But I to be honest, I'm not at all sure. Most likely, between the simulcast between Fanboy Cantina and here, we'll get a midweek Daredevil review cooking for people who are interested to come around and hang out for Daredevil. I like the Universal socks. And then our final item here, Lady from the Black Lagoon. Easy for me to say, Mallory O'Meara, the author of The Lady from the Black Lagoon. I'm still doing it. The biographical piece on Millicent Patrick. And again, a lot of
great backstory and family history. How did Millicent grow up? How did she start out as a Disney artist on Fantasia and takes many twists and turns through her career, earlier in her years being a Disney Fantasia artist and then being the designer of. Okay, so now we got, when is the collab with Fanboy? I'm so lazy to read the text thread. At least you're honest about it, Pally. At least you're honest about it. So most likely Wednesday this coming week, to be determined. But that's why pop-up live streams come around, scheduled live streams come around. I hope people do check out Svengoolie tonight. Continue to check out Svengoolie in his time slot, in his depictions as a figures toy company, in his depictions as a NECA Toonie Terrors character holding a rubber chicken. People do stay in the Sven verse. Do get your creature collectibles if that's what works out for you. Do come around again to see us talk about Daredevil. Much appreciation to Michaela, to Jim Campbell, to Chai-Star G for coming around. I'm going to go play back and listen and see how much of an echo I had this time around, but at least I didn't miss all the items, and I didn't overly mute myself, so I'm going to look at that as a forward progress in our okay, here comes another. Oh, Fanboy Cantina coming from the earlier time zone, early in the morning, Fanboy Cantina time, but appreciating Fanboy and Chai-Star. Wouldn't you know, just when we're trying to close out the show, we get some final banter items from the regulars and the supporting crew. All right, thanks everybody. Have a cool weekend or whenever you're watching. We'll have more Daredevil content coming up. We'll have more monster content coming up. We're coming into convention season. Chai-Star and me will absolutely be at C2E2, checking out the Svengoolie comings and goings, as well as all the other good stuff that C2E2 has to offer. I'm closing us out as I see another viewer just came around to view, but I appreciate Custom God for jumping in the comment section last time. I appreciate everybody in the Reddit group who contributed to the voting. Fangs or no fangs, teeth or no teeth. Appreciate the art of Michaela, the art of Nanette in the Reddit crew. And now I'm reaching for the end stream. So, man, is that, oh, okay, blue. Could it be Blue Sasquatch? Could it be Mandarin? Is it an unknown additional viewer? Whoever it is, you're welcome to hang around and come around. It's much appreciated. But I'm absolutely drawing my thumb over to the end button right now, and we are out.